So you choosing this sect, how did that take a toll with you and your family now? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, they they didn't like it.
They're like,
like to the point where they started calling me a terrorist, which is crazy to me. Yeah, I got disowned. You know, like my parents they just weren't having it. They kicked me out onto the streets. As men, we don't have a choice, because we're gonna be put in positions where we don't have a choice, but our kid needs to eat. My wife needs to be protected.
Yeah.
Like it's and straight out, as much as we try to live in this lovey-dovey world, not everything's a competition. Everything's a competition, bro. Like we need to get ahead of the rest. You know what I mean? We need to be able to be the best providers we can be, the best protectors we can be. And how do you have that self-confidence doing it, knowing that you've done stuff that other people haven't?
Wow, this is Ace P. Welcome back to Western Talks here. It's a platform, man, where we share stories, build a community. You get what I'm saying? Let people learn from each other as a unit. You get me? And yeah, man. Today I got an exciting guest. This is actually our first time seeing each other, huh?
Yeah, it is.
It's my brother Ali. Please welcome, brother.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Of course, brother. Of course. And yeah, it's the month of Ramadan. And brought a beautiful gift, bro. I can't lie. Was not expecting that.
No, it's so good. It's so good.
But love, brother. Yeah. So first, I just wanna introduce you. What do you do? Who are you, brother?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Ali Bomaye. I'm a MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And I guess entrepreneur.
Yes, you are 100%.
And a special guest on WesternTalks podcast today.
Yeah, my brother. How old are you?
I'm 24.
I couldn't believe that, you know. I thought you were younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I met you from the face of Magdi Hassan.
Yeah.
Magdi Hassan recommended you, and I had to, of course.
Shout out to Magdi.
Hey,
44.
44, man.
48.
Love, bro. Bro, you have a crazy life story. I cannot, I remember, I was chatting to you on the phone. Couldn't believe everything that you were saying bit by bit.
Yeah.
And I can't believe, a person that can endure that over his childhood. But let's basically talk about where it all started. Like, where did you grow up? What basically happened in your childhood? I know there's a lot. I don't know where you want to start from, but
no. If we're talking childhood, like straight out, had a good childhood. Like, like you know, like I grew up Concord, North Stratfield ways.
Yeah.
I was always a troublemaker. Like always went to trouble for like stupid shit. Like, cuz tell me a kid that got kicked out of a preschool. Do you know what I mean?
Say no way.
Like it was in like one of those nice ways. Like I think your son should go to another preschool. I'm like, you know what I mean? Apparently, so I went to like 2 different preschools.
Preschools is a different level, but yeah,
straight up.
Yeah.
Primary school, always got into trouble, this, that. But in terms of like, you know, like my upbringing, like I was well looked after. My parents looked after me. They taught me, you know, right from wrong. Like I feel like I built good morals.
100%. Yeah.
All this. Yeah, but it was just.
It's a long arm.
And then we got to a point where just, you know, we hit the rocky road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when did you get into the sport of MMA?
MMA, when I was 12.
12.
So, yeah.
What introduced yourself into that? Like, why?
Well, being the little bit of a troublemaker I was.
Yeah.
It's like I would get into trouble outside of school and in school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, bro, like, you're an 11-year-old kid, you're doing the most, you know? So it's a bit dragged. And then it got to a point where it was just too much. It was like, you know, it was probably going to lead to, like, actual time in juvie, things like that. So the principal, you know, would call up my parents. And this was, like, this was my second... So I was in year 7, and I went to 3 schools in the span of 1 year in year 7. And my second school... The principal turned around and said, this kid needs to do some sort of discipline, some sort of like martial art, like to keep his head straight, you know, like otherwise he's just gonna end out flipped. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be DH. So yeah, and then my parents like felt the need to like put me into like a form of martial arts. I started with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ. I was that kid, like my favorite movie growing up was Rocky and Rambo were my 2 favorite movies. And straight out, like most of the trouble I was getting growing up was just punching on. Like if from the age of like 2 years old, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was just a violent kid. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And then and yeah, that was my whole like primary school. Just always getting into fights, getting suspended for them, detentions for them.
Yeah.
So it came to a point where they're like, let's actually put him in a martial art, like keep him distracted from doing all this wrong stuff, like you know, extracurricular, like trying to urge this, that, like at the age, such a young age, you know, steal cars, this, that. Yeah. So it's like it will keep you. If I'm at the gym, I won't be out doing other things. If I'm hitting things or doing something physical, I'm not taking it out on someone else, you know, like in the street or in the school, you know. And then I'm thinking like, nah, like that's gay, you know, like I'm thinking, like, cause I'm like, I was that kid that's like, kids only like learn to fight because they don't like, cause they're like,
they don't know
bitches, like they don't know, you know. So,
I get you.
Like I was like, I don't need to learn how to fight. I can throw him.
You can already
like,
do it. Yeah.
This little cocky Arab kid, you know what I mean? And then, but yeah, I ended up like, you know, just not really having a choice, you know, because it was school and life was kind of dependent on it. Like otherwise, like I had to. It was like a good behavior thing, you know.
Yeah. And
then so we ended up trying it out. And shit, I ended up actually happening to like it, and then like you actually like wrestle people and that wouldn't think would give you a go, and then you know, it's like a little bit of a humbling experience too.
100%, yeah.
So and then, that's kind of how I got into it.
Fast love, bro.
Yeah.
And what was so yeah? Obviously, you were talking about that. What was like your parents' views on it in terms of you just being a violent kid at a young age, like.
Mum hated it.
Yeah.
I think dad, like, as a male, and like my dad's like he's a man. Like he understands violence is like necessary sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it was still like a lot of it was a bit uncalled for too, you know. 100%. So, my mum just hated it altogether. Like, you know, as mothers do, right? Of course, just don't get into violence, this, that.
Yeah.
And my dad would just like, if you're gonna do it, make sure you're in the right.
Yeah.
And make sure you win. You know what I mean? So if I lose, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
It was funny because growing up, like if I lose, I would get in trouble by my mum for getting into a fight, but in trouble by my dad for losing.
Yeah.
If I win, then I'll get in trouble by my mum for fighting. My dad would probably be alright with it, but she'll have to get angry because my mum's angry.
Yeah.
And if I didn't fight, which was never really an option for me, my mum would probably be alright, but my dad would think like, why'd you buckle? You know what I mean? My dad would be disappointed in me. So it was a lose-lose situation in any form. So
just do you at that point.
Yeah. So, but when it came to the martial art, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, no striking, nothing. It was more wrestling. So I think, and I guess my parents were alright with it, but I feel like that would be, you know, my mum was a bit like, is it going to make you more violent or less violent? Like, I think she was a bit scared in that sense.
Yeah.
But they took the advice of the professionals, like the principal, stuff like that, and then just thought, give it a go and hopefully it all works out, you know.
100%. And so after your journey in doing MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well, what happened after like your teenage experience basically? How was, were you still in trouble?
The first it actually helped me a lot. I was still getting into a lot of trouble because I was still getting into a lot of trouble, still getting into like fights at school, but you could see the progression a little bit. You could see I was bettering. Yeah. You know? I was actually even getting into trouble within the gym itself. You know, like the gym was owned by two people, and it was co-owned by two people essentially, and one of them essentially wanted to kick me out of the gym because I was causing trouble even within the gym. But I swear to God, I was doing my best. I was like, I feel like he was dragging it a bit, and then the other one, like, he seen like the good in me. Like the other owner, he was that coach that I would sit down with before class, talk to, build a bit of a relationship. So he kind of seen like a bit more of like who I actually am rather than just seeing the trouble I was getting in.
100%. Yeah.
So it was pretty much like they wanted to kick me out, and the one that didn't want to kick me out is like the head coach.
Oh, yeah.
He went to kick me out, and then like according to my mum, because obviously I didn't see this behind the scenes stuff, but my mum went to the gym, asked like, please, like he needs this, like it's helping him, this, that. Yeah, so shout out to Ma. All that, and then the other one spoke to the main one, and then kind of it ended up being like a month suspension, you know. So like, so it was like overall, like I was still getting into the trouble that I was getting to, but I was slowly progressing, and then I was still moving to new schools. Went to another school after that, and then and then it wasn't really till about 15 I thought I wanted to take this stuff seriously. I started striking as well, all that, but then I started just having other, you know, like troubles arise in life, things like that. But
was it? Nah, that's good, but that it took, like MMA took like a good positive direction in you.
Yeah, you know straight out, like if it wasn't for fighting, I have a shirt that says Jiu-Jitsu saved my life, and like low key, like it kind of did, you know what I mean? So because you see that mostly in movies, you know, all those movies where it's like they take this seriously, and that's when it takes a big toll in their life, either in a positive or a negative direction. And well, like I guess like, don't worry, the movie will come out when I'm famous.
I love that, and I'll be there in the premiere of it. 100%.
Hey, well, you jumped on the first podcast, so you got that day one right.
My brother, bro. So is this your first podcast?
I've filmed podcasts, but they hadn't been released, so just straight up, this might be your chance.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's respect, bro. Yeah. And wow, and obviously are you religious?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I'm a Muslim.
Yeah, Muslim. Yeah, and
well, I try to be like we, you know, just because I fast a month of Ramadan, I do my 5 prayers a day, and I perform my 5 pillars, and inshallah I get to perform Hajj and all that. That's the bare minimum, and some people might look from the outside and consider that religious, but I feel like I'm doing the bare minimum, so I have a lot more to work towards. But I am a person of religion. I am a proud Muslim, alhamdulillah, you know. 100%,
yeah, and I only respect that, bro. Because me myself, I'm more religious. My dad's family is. They're Hindu.
You said you're not religious?
I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
But my dad, he doesn't really follow it. He just believes that if you're a good human, you know, do good deeds, that's what matters most in life.
Yeah.
So I kind of took that in as like inspiration, and kind of followed that as well. Yeah. But yeah, there was a story that you told me about with the religious
side of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so if you're sharing that.
Yeah. So my parents are a sect, like an Islamic sect called Alawite.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much how I grew up, as an Alawite Muslim. But it was followed very blindly, like, you know, following the way of the forefathers. Like any holy book tells you, don't, you know, like seek knowledge for yourself, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's got that element that, you know, that it's got that little bit of a prideful element where it's like you know that as someone that was growing up as an Alawite, you know, it's like an inner flex where it's like you have to be born into this religion, you can't become this religion.
Okay.
So it's like essentially like I'm like a chosen one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the validity in that, it's just, you know, like what would that say about a brother like you? Like if you wanted to seek God, like, you know, it wouldn't, you know, you'd have to become like Shia or something, because we were, I guess, a sect of Shia, but then even Shia and Alawites don't necessarily see eye to eye and everything.
Yeah.
And then I grew up as that, and I was proud to be that at the time. But it got to a stage where probably at around like, if around 2012 and stuff, like you'll see, like you turn on the TV and the media hated Islam, bro. You know what I mean? Because especially like the whole terrorism stuff was very prominent. People misrepresenting our religion overseas, things like that.
Yeah.
So every time I turn on that TV, it's like Muslims are bad, this, that, and then my cousins or family or other Alawites would have beef with a different sect of Islam, you know, in their street beefs, whatever you want to call it, which was they were Sunni Muslims, and my parents would always say like these Sunni Muslims are bad and put it upon them, and you know, like really, like, you know, it's both sides doing wrong, but it's the people, it's not the religion, you know, like, because at the end of the day, like, thing. And then so I started getting to a point where as a whole I was starting to get turned off Islam as a whole, because I'm going to school, and then bouncing between all these schools, I ended up at like some full like Caucasian school, like only white boys, bro. You know what I mean? Holy Cross College ride. And then like you've heard of it, you know?
I heard of it.
It's just straight white boys, you know, and it's like, they hated me, bro.
Swear?
They hated me, man. It was like every day I'm going to school, Allahu Akbar, terrorist, this, that. And I swear to God, I wasn't even like, at least now I have a beard, you know, I trim my mustache, you know. At the time, I'm like a clean shaven kid with a little comb over, I look like baby face as shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, I had no, and it's like, I didn't even look like a Muslim, but it was just easy for them. Then they say my name, the teacher calls out Mahmoud Ali on the roll, and it's like, oh, he's a terrorist, this, that, you know. So I'm going to school.
It does.
I'm going to school, and like I'm hating life because I'm thinking like I'm just a piece of shit, because like it's like if it's said enough times to you, you start to believe it, and especially when you're a young kid, 12, 13 years old. And then so I'm going to school. Everyone hates me because I'm a Muslim. I'm going home and my parents are talking shit about other Muslims. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I turn on the TV and Islam's talking, like, is just being banished by the media. Yeah. So I start to think like, why am I a Muslim? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like everything's just like torn. Nothing's working in my favor. Yeah. You know,
all the influences.
Yeah. So like in like about 14, 15, it was really that point where like I'm starting to sit back. I'm like, I'm getting bullied at school, you know, and like, and I was that kid that like when I got bullied, I didn't sit there and cop it. I would react. So then I'll just get myself bashed even more by these year 11s and 12s, and like, smashed with crutches and whatever they had closest. And I just got belted on the daily. The school bus, we get off at the park next to my crib, and then I'm just going 1v3 with like, I'm in year 8 and I'm fighting these year 10s and 11s, and like, bro, like, I'm just getting bashed on the daily, bro. Yeah. So I'm like, and I guess it was the only time in my life I could have said like I was depressed in a form of like, I don't want to say depression because I don't really like believe in depression like that, but I would have been depressed for momentarily. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then like that shit had me like hating life, and I'm like, and then you hear that whole like, oh, if there is a God, why would he do this to people he loves if he's all loving and this and that? Yeah. So then like like how deep do we get? You know what I mean? Oh shit. So like, and then like, it's up to you, to the point where like, you know, it starts to cross your mind like you want to be a bit suicidal. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like you're 14, 15-year-old kid, and like no one wants to think like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I do not concern that shit at all. Like I think of it now and just like, I was just being a bitch straight out. Like, but I'm 14. I don't know you're 15. I don't know any better. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then like you know, you try to convince yourself to do bad things to yourself at night to essentially take yourself out. Yeah, it's mental battle. You're starting to question God, things like that. So then I thought like straight out, like I want to seek something. So I wanted to like, I was kind of on that vibe regardless. Like, you know, if you're a good person and treat people with respect, you know, thing. But at the end of the day, like, we need a higher power as humans. Yeah. And then I started actually like more intensely, like about 16, stuff like that. I started really looking into like religions and stuff. Christianity, Judaism and Islam were mainly what I was looking at, Abrahamic religions, because I'm like, more than half the world kind of follows this. Yeah. Pretty, like, I was pretty confident it had to be one of them 3 religions. The concept of multiple gods and all that stuff didn't make sense to me. Like what if one god has to fight the other? Who wins? You know, like there can't be more than one god. You know, like, like and that's the way I looked at it. You know what I mean? And then I really looked into Christianity, Islam, and the thing is, Christianity is like I went to Christian schools because I was getting into so much trouble. The only thing that would accept me before behavior schools were Christian schools, because that like concept of see Christ in everyone, and, you know, love thy neighbor and all that kind of lovey-dovey stuff, which is kind of how they try to win you. You know, like I feel like Christianity is just like a feel-good religion. It's like So I would say like I came to a conclusion where it's like, you know, there are two things that make a religion: knowledge and action. And when I looked into like Judaism, it's like, as a Jew, I'm pretty sure you have to be born into it anyways. Like, it's kind of like being an Alawite, you know? So it was like, it's already a select few people, but the thing is, like, they were kind of a religion of knowledge. They did like they know what happened in the past. You know, they believe in one God, things like that. So, but no action. They don't acknowledge like they don't acknowledge the prophets, things like that. So like, you don't have an action to kind of like, you don't have role models to kind of follow in the footsteps of, essentially. Christianity was like I was forced to go masses and churches, going to Christian schools, and it wasn't knowledge of action, but I felt like there was like, because like you go there, you feel good, bro, you know, like people are also loving, and you know, like it's like, cause like you can call someone a piece of shit and I'll look at you and smile, and like I see the Christ, like, cause it's like it's a bit too much, you know, like to the point where like, why being this, you know? But it's so, and then like I looked into that and I'm reading the Bible every day. I'm going to those religion classes, and I felt like it lacked knowledge, you know, like science and stuff didn't correlate. It was like things, just too many contradictions, as you don't know what Bible to choose from, and it didn't work, bro. They call themselves monotheistic, but then they believe in a three-way God, and then this man never called himself God, but they're like putting it upon him, and it's like, I don't know, and then it ended up actually just bringing me back to Islam, wallah, because Islam is like, the knowledge in it is like can never be disproved. It actually like it corrects science, you know, like everything. The more science that comes out, and the more that like they fact check their stuff, the more it proves Islam. And I feel like it's a big reason why a lot of people become Muslim today, because when they actually look into it, it's like, hold on, like, there are facts in here, you know what I mean? And it's a religion of action. You got your 5 pillars. You got to fast for Ramadan, pray 5 times a day.
Exactly, there's a lot.
You perform Hajj, 2.5% charity in your annual income, like, so like zakat, and Tawheed, believing in the one God only, you know. And so I started looking at the sects of Islam, and then the Shia, Sunni, Alawite thing, and I ended up becoming a Sunni, and that in itself started big problems, because with an Alawite family, they weren't having it, because it was like the opposing views within the religion. Do you know what I mean? And
well, so can I ask this one question with you? It's called sects, sect,
like different sect, okay, or denomination, I guess, I don't know, but I usually call it sect.
Okay, so with all these sects, in my like view of looking at Islamic culture, wouldn't they all kind of like just be as one, instead of like bad mouthing or just
it's
beefing across each other?
I see what you mean, like because the whole concept of Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, the shahada, which makes you Muslim. I believe there is no deity worthy of worship other than the one true God, Allah alone, and Prophet Muhammad is Allah's final messenger. Like, I guess across the board they all say this, but it's kind of the disputes are amongst like what happened kind of a bit after the Prophet, you know, like the companions of the Prophet, who they choose to acknowledge. And I believe the biggest difference between the Shia religion and the Sunni religion, and when I speak on Shia, I speak on Alawi as well, because they're a sect of Shia, is it was more emotionally driven, you know. It was right, whereas as a Sunni, everything was more logical, you know, in the sense of like the Khalifaship, the first leaders of Islam after the Prophet had passed, things like that. It's like we believe it should have been this person, but history and shows and the way it played out shows it didn't happen to go that way.
Okay.
And it's not for us humans to dictate. It's, you know, like Allah's the best of planners, and whatever destiny God chooses is going to happen. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I say emotionalism because I believe I wanted this person to come first as the leader, but he didn't, so I'm not going to follow your way. I'm going to follow the way that I wanted it to go. And it's just like, I feel like it becomes a bit of a childish argument, because it's like it's based on your feelings, you know, whereas this is how it played out. These people, the way they spread Islam, the way they glorified Islam, the way as a whole, like, we are a powerful nation within ourselves as Muslims today, is all because of these individuals that did take lead and did take charge after the Prophet had passed, you know. And that's where the biggest dispute, and I think and if there is conflict, it may be because these person may curse the people that we love and hold in a high regard, you know what I mean? So, and then but for me, like, and then like obviously, you know, as you dive into it, there's more and more to different things, you know what I mean? But the Sunni religion was for me the logical, smart option, and that's why, despite the backlash I was copying from my surrounding family and everyone, I understood that at the end of the day, I'm trying to, when I face God alone. I want to find the right thing, and that's for me what was right, you know.
Wow. Yeah. So,
alhamdulillah.
So you choosing this sect, how did that take a toll with you and your family now, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, they didn't like it.
They're like,
like, to the point where they started calling me a terrorist, which is crazy to me. Wallah, that, like,
And how old was this when this all happened? Like what age?
17, 18, if I remember correctly. Even 19. Yeah. It was like, because it was a very slow transformation, because like the life I was living, like I was doing wrong things in my life as well. So sometimes I would like put religion on hold, things like that. And then it's also that, like, at the back of my mind, like, I'm about to lose a lot of people, you know, making this change, things like that. So it was like, I couldn't even tell you, like, all my mates that have become Muslim, I can tell you the exact date they took their shahada and became Muslim. With myself, I can't tell you that, because like I was slowly conforming to the point where, like, am I that, you know, and like to the point where I don't have an exact moment where I solidified the fact that I am you know what I mean. It kind of happened without me even knowing. Do you know what I mean? Just from me trying to seek truth. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, but now, like, the solidarity is just I know. But it was like, so I think at the time it was most prominent. I had a missus, and sounds simple as shit, but I was in love. You know what I mean? Shit. Even players catch feelings, huh? Damn. And then so like my income, the living I was living, stuff like that, like none of it was righteous. You know, I was trying to make quick money. I'm not gonna say easy money, because that life isn't easy money. There's a lot of it's a lot of toll, you know. But I was making good money, and I was making it quick in the wrong ways. But the thing is, now that I had a girl that I essentially fell for, I started to like think ahead a little bit, and I'm like I want to like potentially marry this girl, have a family, you know what I mean? and then the thing is, like, my family wasn't going to accept her regardless because of her background. It didn't match ours, and they wanted a girl that matched the same background. But then and then regardless, I was just like, you know what, I need to pull my shit up, because if like marriage, even if it's not going to be with this girl, it's going to be something that I want to pursue. Like as a man, it's our imperative to find the woman we love.
Yeah.
And then, you know, raise good righteous kids, like, because we believe that's half our religion, and that's really why we're on this earth, to procreate and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so I understood that the life I was living wasn't sustainable. Like, I want to be around for my kids, I want to you know, I want to do good, I want to be a good role model for my kids, I don't want them to follow negative footsteps, things like that. So that's when I started really like trying to transition from, like, really try to focus on my religion at that point. Started trying to pick up prayers because this, like, my parents like never really prayed growing up. You know, it was very lukewarm. I'm a Muslim, and it was like by name. Do you know what I mean? But by actions, it's I don't want to call you a non-Muslim, but the actions don't yo Islam. You know, and then so I became. So and it was during that relationship I really, like, you know, tried to think, and then once I had like solidified the fact that I wanted to be a Muslim and this was the path I was going to take, I got disowned. You know, like my parents they just weren't having it. They kicked me out onto the streets.
So actually,
so I was like. And the thing is, like, I had been like, I had been kicked out like multiple times in my teenagehood, and points where like I'd have to like, you know, you're not living with your parents, you pretty much end up homeless, right? Like they kick you out, sleeping in parks, this, that. But it was like, I think like that mother's love eventually, like, you know, would win over her emotions and stuff, and she'll call me like back eventually, say come back, things like that. Because and me being like a little egotistical ass kid, like if you want to kill me, I'll leave, like, you know, and and then but then when I made that this time, because it wasn't behavioral based, it was like religion based, and it was a whole different view to my parents. This time that was like this one, like we're not calling you back after this, like, you know, like you're gone, you know. So I had like I went, you know, just like again back to the streets for a little bit till I could find a spot. Do you know what I mean? And then like eventually I'll find a spot or whatever, and then like now I'm like trying to build myself as a man, and I'm trying to leave all the wrong stuff that I was doing to make money, try and find the actual job. Do you know what I mean? Like, so essentially, like, I lost my relationship with my parents completely. Like, I'm disowned, don't have that relationship with them. Try to talk to my dad, he won't talk to me. Like, it's just done. You know. Wow.
And when that period of time happened, did you realize in your head that, like, obviously you were maybe 18 at the time, how you said 19. In your mental mind, did you think that this was a moment in time where your parents would say, okay, you can come back? Or did you know that?
Nah, I knew straight up, because I'd been on the streets like even like 16 and stuff, right?
Okay.
And like I think my first time like was like 14 or something like that. Like it was very on and off type of thing.
Shit.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, so this time I was like, I think it was like the third or fourth time, and I'm like, to be honest, like, my ego is telling me like I don't even want to come back anymore. You know what I mean? In the time, because in the moment. Do you know what I mean? And then also knowing the reason, because my whole life growing up was like, do not be one of these people, because they would curse them people. But then I became one of them, you know. But like I realized like we were on the wrong side. You know what I mean? And then like, what was the question again? Sorry.
Like when your parents,
like, I knew it was.
Did you know that it was?
This time I definitely knew.
Wow.
100%.
But how about saying that it was like this when you were 14 years old? How?
See, like when I was getting in trouble at those points, I was like my parents were just like giving up on me, in the sense like, why do I even send you to school? You just go there, you get suspended. Like teachers want to kick you out. You know, like I remember, like, you know, like like teachers would say your son's not going to make it to year 12. Things like that. you know, and it's like, and so my parents just like we had high expectations for you.
Yeah.
And like, alhamdulillah, like straight up, I was actually a smart kid. Like, you know, like I was that kid. If I put my mind to it, I'll kill her.
Yeah, you'll kill her. Yeah,
but
100%.
I didn't want to put my mind to it, like, because this, like, I had no interest in it. You know, I knew what I wanted to be when I was older. I understood school ain't shit really. It's just an obedience test. If you get good marks, you're more obedient than the other person.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like because it's like you debate kids in your school as well, and it's like you know, you ever see like teachers and students get at it and stuff, and it's like these so-called D grade students, they're bringing up very good points to absolutely trump teachers, trump other students. Just when it comes to pen to paper, it's like it doesn't, you know. So I wasn't like, school just wasn't it for me, you know.
Yeah.
And then and I'm obviously getting trumped. My parents were sick of it. It's like I can't, especially like the Arab ego. Like my parents like have like, you ever watch like, you probably didn't, but you Super Bowl growing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super well, of course.
I was talking to someone your age the other day and they didn't know, so I was like, but you know how like this like the Wog mum, it's very like egotistical, like when it comes to the other mums, and it's like, it's like nice jacket for a fade, like things like that. Like they always want to be better than other families and show that they. So for my parents, like, I was misrepresenting them and it was diminishing their kind of status in a sense.
Okay.
So they wanted to get rid of me in the sense like that's not my son. Like I swear I'd raise a better son than that. You know?
Wow. Yeah.
But then it was like, and then so I'll go on the streets, whatever. But then like at the end of the day, because it was behavioural and because of the age that I was, it would get to the point where they realised like this might be just a teenage phase. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it got to a point where I started turning my parents for that too. So I actually lacked respect for my parents. And I started like becoming that kid and be like if my mom tells me to be home this time, I don't want to be home at that time. Like I'm a man now, like I can say what I want, I can do what I want. Like that poison that kids get, you know, like it's disgusting. My son ever says that, Shaman Bashi. But, you know what I mean? but yeah, like this disgusting attitude like that. And then what's crazy is when I accepted, like when I became like the Muslim that I am today, that taught me be good to your parents. That's what made me want to actually like respect my parents, not even say oof to my parents. But then they seen he changed religion, and despite the fact that he actually changed me as a better person, they weren't seeing that. They were just seeing like you're a different person. They were associating my negative traits with this new decision that I made and just trying to make me an absolute villain. Do you know what I mean? And then it kind of just like at that point it was like, that was great. Like I guess they preferred me being a gronk, but not being that religion, being a good person, and you know. But and then that's how it ended up like playing out.
And do you have any other siblings?
Yeah, 2 younger sisters.
2 younger sisters, huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And wow, bro. And if I don't know if I can say this, but in your your environment, your friend group, how was there an influence towards your behavior in terms of doing, you know, the wrong stuff?
In terms of friend group?
Yes. No,
I was always a lone wolf.
Yeah.
I was always that kid, like I trusted nobody, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very like I'm a very like my own person. I had one very close friend.
Yeah.
He ended up becoming Muslim as well with me. So and that was like he was just that ride or die, like by my side essentially.
100%, yeah.
But when it came to like but other than that, like I had like, but then there was people that I looked up to, like, you know, the areas I was from, my background, you know, and I look at like all the old Arab boys and stuff, they're all making money, this, that.
Yeah. When
I see them, they like, you know, when Tupac says, I haven't listened to music like 3 years, so I forgot like a lot of lyrics, but like it was like.
Were you being serious about that?
Yeah, I'm being serious. I don't listen to music no more. I started listening to music 3 years ago, 2 years ago, something like that. But we can get into that later.
I want to get into that.
But Tupac would say, I hang out with the drug dealers because even though they sold drugs, they show a nigga love or some shit like that. Like they were like, you know, even though what they done was essentially what you're saying. Even though what they done was bad, they were always good people. They looked after the youngins, things like that, and that's how I felt like. You know, in my area, like, you know, if I'm in Greenacre, this, that, like, all the older boys will say me, like, you know, they'll buy me food, give me money, this, that. But sometimes with certain crowds, it would require something in return, hence, like, how I kind of got into what I was doing. And that would have been, like, the influence. And me wanting to be that guy, too, like, I want to be that guy rolling around this whip. Yeah. And I want to be that guy giving these, you know, the youngins look up to me and be like, hey, like, let's take this, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and then all the shorties love you. Yeah. You know, like this, that, like far, and then that life is it's always a dream, you know. And then I guess that would have been the negative influence. But in terms of like friendship influence, I never got peer pressured. Yeah. Everything was my own decision. Okay. I never yeah, like I've always seen myself as a leader. My dad always taught me growing up, let people come to you, don't go to people. Yeah. So I always see myself as a leader, and because I never liked anyone, I never trusted no one. I never created a big enough friend group. So I was always really a lone wolf. To this day, really. Yeah. You know? So yeah.
Sometimes it's better like that, but
yeah, bro. Facts. Wallah. Because it's even like you're like, bro, just like like. Fast. Even your closest circle will hate on you, bro. Like, exactly, ugly, bro. And then that's what hurts you the most, right? Yeah. So it's just like now I just accept it. And if something like does happen or someone does me dirty, it's like I knew it was gonna happen. So it's like
so you just like you can move on easier.
Like now it's like I'll just wait for the person to just do me over. Yeah. But I will never put myself in a position where it's gonna set me back because like I'm always a step ahead of you.
Always step ahead.
Yeah.
Wow, bro. And also like. The life experiences that you did go through, it builds the person.
You see the true colours of people. Yeah, Wallah, you see the true colours. Yeah, like especially like far like my family, like we were never like, you know, lower middle class, like, you know, like didn't really have money like that. You know, you like, you know, your parents can't buy you this because you don't have money or whatever. Yeah. So I would always say like, you know, especially because I went to this like school of like Aussie kids. You know, a lot of them had money and this, that. You know. I hated on like upper class, eastern suburb, northern shore kids, you know, like I hated all that. Like I seen them my daddy's money, this, that. Like I was a piece of shit for thinking like that, you know, like because in a way, like because like you know, it was a dumb victim mindset. Yeah, and I actually matured at the time when I went homeless when I was about 16. Yeah, it was during Ramadan, and I'm like sleeping in Bellwood Park, and then on the cold nights I'll try to open cars at night and like try and sleep in like that car, like trying to get a sense of warmth, you know, like things like that, like if it was raining, things like that. So like I was just like, you know, I was living the most bottom of the barrel like lifestyle. But now that I didn't have my parents, and you know, it's like you don't count your blessings, because like I did have a roof over my head. My parents, my mum was a good cook, bro. Yeah. She you know, she always made sure I was well fed. Yeah. You know, my dad, like, he'll buy me, like, if I'm hungry, he'll go get me food. You know, like, they looked after me, all that they did. And even if they didn't have much, you know what I mean?
They'll do their best.
Yeah. And then it's like, but now, like, I'm seeing these kids, and then, you know, usually I'll go, like, to, like, Westfield Bellwood after school, and I'll see like all these kids with their money and this and that and buying food.
You have a different perspective.
Yeah, and I would hate on it. Yeah. But now I'm thinking, why am I hating on these people? Yeah. Like, I'm in this position. I hate this position. I'm actually happy for them. Yeah. Like I wouldn't want this. Yeah. You know, this girl or this guy here to you know, like, experience. It's good that they have a good relationship with their parents, that their parents are willing to give them stuff. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's good that their parents done well enough to be able to provide for their kids. Yeah. These are all, like, it was a very immature mindset for me to think that, like, I might be on a slightly lower socioeconomic status, but, you know, like, you know, I'm going to hate on them because they're doing better than me, you know, like, and I became that poison. And I remember I was fasting because of Ramadan as well. And I'm hanging out with my fob mate, yeah? And it's like, he turns around and like, like, I had $12 left in my account, you know, like, you know, I was working at KFC, I didn't have much money, this, that, making what, like $100, $150 a week. And then I had like $12 left in my account, and I can't eat for another like 5 hours. Can't eat or drink. And yeah, I had this last $12 and I'm fasting, and he's complaining to me that he's hungry. Do you know what I mean? But now that like I'm in this position and I'm low money, I'm starving, I'm doing Ramadan anyway, so like regardless if I had money or not, I'm starving regardless.
Yeah.
But I'm sleeping like on these cold blades of grass at night, trying to like, you know, because the silver set I kept falling off, it's too skinny, you know, like, you know, things like that. And like, so I'm thinking like, even I could play like, I could have played like, oh, you're hungry, like what about you play victim? But then subconsciously I'm creating a larger, bigger victim mindset. And that's something like, for me, I've learned over the years, like mindset is the most powerful thing on the planet.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? Like you offered to pick me up from the station today, I always choose the harder option. I want to walk. Do you know what I mean? Like things like that. Yeah. So it's like, despite the heat, and I'm in trackies too, my boy. You know what I mean? So like all things like that, and it's like even the smallest things, I always try to build that mindset. So he's there, and I'm, you know what? Take my $12. If my last $12 bought himself a kebab, whatever. Fine. And I actually got happy to see him like enjoying that kebab, you know, piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I could have used that $12, bro. You know what I mean? Nah, but like, you know, and it's like now like everyone has these, what we would say, spoiled, like, wow, I'm actually happy for them, wallah, like, it's a blessing, bro, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I actually, like, and I'll hang out with someone today and they'll be like, oh, it's his dad's money, like, I bought him that car. Like, why are you hating on him, brother? Yeah. He's got a good relationship with his dad. Yeah. You know, like, if you had a good relationship with your dad and your dad had money, he'll look after you too, cuz. Yeah, exactly, your dad either has money and you don't have a good relationship with him, or your dad's broke and now you got to pick up the slack. Stop complaining. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, and then, and not that even if your dad has money and you do have a good relationship, he doesn't even have to buy you that. Like, you're worthless. You're more worthless than your dad. Like your dad put you into this world. Like, your dad's your dad. You have to have utmost respect for him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, cuz, like, we're not even like worth, like, like that, like, cuz. So, you know, like, don't hate on these people. If their dad's willing to do that, cool. If your dad's not willing to do that for you, respect your dad. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then, yeah, like, straight out, me giving that $12 left me, like, starving for the next 3 days, bro, straight out, like, far, like, I wasn't breaking fast, nothing. I was just drinking water from the tap waters and that. Yeah, it was like, but, you know, it changed my mindset. These people are all blessed.
See, your mindset, but not a lot of people have that. It's because of the experiences that you went through compared to them. Yeah, they wouldn't, if they were in your position, let's see someday, hopefully not, but let's see someday they do go into that position, they won't have the same mentality as you, just because they've never been through that. And for you to go through that and now just have a positive, thoughtful mind after all these experiences is a very good blessing, bro. That's kind of
the mindset I had. Like, if you go to my Facebook and you scroll back on my cover photos to in like 2015 or whatever, or 16 when I first got Facebook, or my even school computer at the time, my wallpaper was Muhammad Ali hitting a bag, and it was God will not place a burden on a man's shoulders knowing that he cannot carry it. So when I was there and I was in those positions, I'm telling myself, like, God gave me this burden because he knew I could carry it. You know, I was and like, cause like, and it sounds kind of like, you know, it's crazy because when you say these things to yourself out loud, it comes off to the populace as very cocky. But the thing is, you have to have this mindset when you're in these positions. So I'm telling myself, like, straight out, I got that mental. These niggas don't. Like, you know, these people don't have the mental I have. You know, these people don't, like, you know, like, it's just like, you have to convince yourself you're different to survive. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and yeah, like, you know, and so. And I acknowledge that, and even now it's like I see other people, like, and it hurts because society has, like, weakened big time.
100%.
Well, like, actually, and it disgusts me, especially like far, man. Like, yeah, I'm gonna start putting it on people in a second. I can't get into that, but like, you know what I mean?
No, but it's true that this generation as well, when it comes to just having discipline and the way of thinking is much,
Wallah, wallah, like, man,
it's not,
but it's I'm part of me is happy I went through it, but then, like, you know, because, like, I was able to acknowledge my limits, and as a fighter, mental is everything.
It is.
As a fighter, cause don't worry about what these hands can do. Don't worry about what these hips can do. Whatever my physical athleticism, how I look. None of that matters, bro. Fighting is just mental, bro. Yeah. Well, like, you can get a hopeless fighter against a top tier athlete, but if he has the mental and he doesn't, cause the mental is always gonna win, bro.
That's true.
And that's something that I know. Like, when I enter this cage, when I fight, like, I know I've been battle tested. I know this. Yeah. So it's like, and I feel like that built an upper hand in not only life, but fighting is my life. So life, like as a whole, you know.
Yeah.
And far like in mentals,
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's not even in your sport. It's in life in general, bro.
Yeah.
It carries over, bro, for the rest of your life. You have that now.
I believe what makes an athlete truly is the lifestyle they live.
100%.
You know what I mean? It's everything around.
Yes.
You know, like it's not just the training. See, the training's always gonna build you. It's building HP or whatever. Like I don't know, play video games, but you know, you're building your character or whatever.
Yeah.
But outside of like, it's like, okay, I'll train twice a day or 3 times a day, depending on the day, if I have work or not or whatever, you know, what I'm up to, if I've got business to do. I'll train in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's like, am I going to go home after training and just play PlayStation, then go back to my night session?
Yeah.
I'm the type that I'm going to train in the morning. Then I'm going to go to the park. I'm going to do a calisthenics session.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to play basketball with my friends. Stay active all day long. You know, watch what I eat even when I'm outside of camp. You know, and then go back to training at night. I'm going to make sure I'm in bed by 10 p.m. Do you know what I mean? I'll make sure I get all my prayers in the day. Like, everything is around. It's not just the training.
Yeah.
I'd rather train once. I'd rather train 4 times a week. Maybe like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Those 4 sessions a week, but have a proper lifestyle. To do the training I'm doing 2 or 3 times a day, 6 to 7 days a week, but not have the lifestyle built around it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's really the lifestyle of an individual is so important. That's really going to boost people. You know, like I'll tell my mate, like, let's walk from here to here. Let's not catch a bus. It's an hour walk, but let's walk it. Yeah. Because we don't need to be there till another 2 hours anyway. Why do we need to catch a bus? We can, in this time, we can walk and talk, have fun. Oh no, I can't walk, bro. I just trained. So did I. But it's like, you know, like this is the training doesn't count. It's the lifestyle that counts. The training is just bonuses, bro. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it, straight up.
That's actually, you know, so different, huh? Yeah.
Wallah.
Wow, bro. Nah. Your mentality is very, like, do you know that you have a different mentality?
Yeah, because I have no friends. So that tells me I have a different mentality. You know what I mean?
No, that's a good vibe, because you should know that you have that. Yeah, it's very, very rare for someone to have that type of mentality. Like, I'll be real, you're probably like the first person I met under, I don't know, let's say for example, David Goggins. This guy's mentality. Haven't seen someone in real life that, obviously, it's not the same mentality, but
no, but shout out to him, Cause what did he do? Like, he ran like some crazy thing, like with broken ankles, cut straight out. I'm like, I want to get to that, if not surpass that. Wallah. And like, I started the little things, like I mentioned to you. I walked from Green Neck to Blacktown the other day. Yeah. You know, like little, you know, whilst fasting. It's like, so like, and I'm gonna try and outdo that every time. Even a brother in the area, shout out to the bearded athlete, like done 100-kilometer run. Like things like that.
I was going to chat to you. You know him? You know him?
I know of him. I see him around the area and stuff. Yeah. Hello, goodbye. Yeah. But like, I have friends that are close with him, very close with him. Yeah. And bro, like he's a great example of like someone that, you know, works towards like that lifestyle. Yeah. Being a proper athlete. Yeah. You know, like, bro, 100-kilometer run. I want to be able to tick that box off, bro. Like, he inspired me. He did. You know, and I'm not a person that needs inspiration, but if I can take it, I'll take it. And shout out to him. Like, I'll take that and run with. I'll, you know, work towards goals like that. You know,
that's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah. Hopefully, I have to train with you one day, 100%.
Nah, we'll get it. Well, you got gloves in the house.
It's gonna happen, right? Yeah. No excuses for real, bro. Yeah. Hey, so now I'm very curious about what you said before. Yeah, I just wanted to dive into this. Yeah. It's the whole music aspect.
Yeah.
How is that due to a religious?
Well, it is a sin in Islam.
I heard about that.
Yeah, like anything to do with instruments and stuff like that. So people come up to me in the gym like, you don't train without music? But you know, shout out to Jeremy. He's one of the kids that train at my gym with us. Yeah. He's a fellow MMA fighter. But he's not even Muslim. But he turned around and we done like a little gym documentary. And he said in this documentary, I like the fact that in this gym there's no music, because all you hear in the background is hard work. And when he said that, like, I live by that now. You know what I mean? Jeremy Ivans, shout out to you, my brother. Because he killed it with that line. Do Do you know what I mean? And that's facts. Like I hear the hustle, I hear the grind, you know, like when I'm training, I hear the, you know, the pad work. I find my rhythms, and the thing is, straight out, like now that I think about it and I look back, I feel like music, like it makes us weak, bro.
But listen, I'm pretty sure it was David Goggins that said this. I saw it in like a little clip. It was that, you know, those runners that, or even in the gym where you listen to music while running. So it's like you're using that as motivation to push you to do better.
Yeah.
So what happens when there's no music? That it comes to the competition time. So what, you can't push yourself?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
See, the thing is, yeah, like I've never listened to these motivational guys like David Goggins and stuff. I just know of them too, like, you know, like other people talking about.
Yeah.
Because like I always try to, you know, create my. I like to go through life experience, but he's speaking facts.
Yeah.
Because it's like, the thing is like, it is harder when you jog without music. You know, like now I only jog and do my things without music.
Yeah.
I love swimming.
Yeah.
I go for long swims, you know, and in the beach, everyone, like, cause like people reply to my story saying, bro, I'm scared of sharks, shit. Like I'll go in the ocean, just swim, bro. But it's like, you know, like it's, so there's no music, or, you know, there's no, and now it's like, you know, when I fight, I'm not having music when I'm fighting this guy, you know, like things like that. Like, I don't know, man. And the thing is, yeah, especially me, like, it's no secret that I loved fighting growing up. Yeah. So, and I was always listening to gangster rap. My favorite artist was The Game. I loved The Game's music.
Yeah.
And like Tupac, Biggie. I was very old school. Like between 95 and 2005, 10, gangster rap, that was my shit. Like 50 Cent music, G and all that, you know. Like I do not flip with this UK current stuff. I hate music today. It's disgusting. It was easier for me to get off it because like I don't even like this music anymore. Okay, I'm just repeating all the old music, you know. But then if I listen to that with like knowing my side, like my mental, you know, talking about wanting to bash someone and do this to someone, now I'm gonna G up and be like, fuck, this guy looks at me wrong, I'm gonna pump him, brother. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's only gonna make me a negative person. And then as a man, especially when you're good looking, like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, it's the shorties, cuz and then this rapper's talking about shorties, and it's like, damn, like now I want to start talking to shorties even more, you know. And then they give me the attention, they see my training,
bro. It's like an influence that you don't really realize as well.
It's bad, bro. And the thing is, like, far, like you know, and then you want like, far, we'll get you into smoking weed, this, that, doing all like these drugs, and then like now, and then again, you know how I said like the influence of the older boys, you know, like in the area. It's like now I look up to like you could look up to these rappers and they're making money, they're doing this, and they got shorties coming over their way. So now you want to follow their footsteps, and then you think this is what's gonna get you bitches, and far, and I'm just gonna end up just doing so much worse and live an empty lifestyle, bro. Do you know? And look at all these like full like top tier guys, bro, that have it all. Sonny Bill Williams, Andrew Tate, like Javonta Davis, King Von, like all these top guys that have been there, they've made it. They don't have a sense of happiness. When do they find happiness? When they reverted to Islam, when they found God. Do you know what I mean? Like, cuz how's Andrew Tate like net worth like just under $1 billion or whatever, and like he's done all these things, cuz, and then he didn't seek a sense of comfort to me, and he'd rather be a Muslim, go through all these trials and tribulations and lockups and stuff, than live the lavish lifestyle he was. And like, you know, Sonny Bill Williams, like, cuz, like in Australia, if you're that top tier rugby player, that's like being an NBA player in America. Like you're getting the shorties. You're he's 6'2" or 6'3", whatever, 6'4", sorry. Like, cuz, and he's just like, he's a good looking bloke too, you know, no homo, but like he's Sonny Bill, cuz, like we all look up to that guy for a reason. You know, he done it all, and then even he like, look at like the influences, he's telling people true happiness is through religion now. Do you know, like, cuz, so at the end of the day it's all an illusion, and music makes us fall for this illusion. And
that's true, huh?
You know what I mean? So right. I believe when I actually stopped listening to music, I full leveled up big time, bro. Wallah, big time. Like that was something, you know, I stopped listening. I stopped listening to music for the sake like of my religion. I did not know how much it was going to boost me as a person. I did not know. Wallah, like you know, like there were things like I haven't played with my days in like 4 years, you know, like no fab, like people say like, oh, change your life. So, you know, like, cause like, and I ain't gonna sip over a bitch over porn and be like, that's cuckold shit, watching two people other people have sex on your screen. Cause like, if you're doing that, like, low key, you're straight out, like, tough.
Fix yourself.
But, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally cuckoldry.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like, so it's like, but that will tell you if you can stop this, you are gonna level up. Okay.
Yeah.
People tell you that when you do, you experience that. Yeah. But no one told me when I stopped listening to music, like, I didn't do it for that incentive. Yeah. When I stopped listening to music, I just done it because, heck, like, just, I'm gonna stop listening to music. But that same way that stopping watching porn and playing with your days and stuff like that, like, will level you up, stopping the music will, and you won't even notice it, bro. Well, like, when you do. Trust me, you do.
So no way. So like, is there like Islamic music?
Yeah, nasheeds and stuff. But like, you know, try listening to Quran, things like that.
Yeah.
Or Islamic, like in Islam, like what's deemed halal or permissible is anything like from the voice. Instruments are a sin. So if I start doing
wrong.
like that's all wrong.
Yeah.
But if I sing to you, like, I'm not gonna start singing. But, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, you know, that's the thing. So we'll have like Arabic ways of, like, you know, just beautiful vocals that glorify God.
And do you listen to
I do if I feel like I need, but even then, like, you know, like, I don't like, you know, like having AirPods and things in, so I don't really, but if it's in the gym and boys want to listen to music, like, you will put up on the speakers and go hard, and it does like G us up too, you know. So and it's different because now it's like, because it involves Allah, it's like we're not doing this for ourselves. Like, I'm fighting to, like, I'm doing what, fighting's a sin. I don't condone punching to the face, but like, as a whole, making a living is our duty as men. So it tells us, like, we're making a living for the sake of God, for the sake of our families. So now it's a greater cause. Like, I'm not trying to make money because I'm trying to be a sick kind. I'm making money because I have a family I need to look after. I got kids I'm going to look after. I need to present myself well. I need to create my own luxuries in a way where I can live in a nice, clean house, and pray to God in the most righteous way. You know, in the most, you know, like, things like that. Like, so everything, like, you know, and one day, like, you know, like, I'm gonna have to fight for what I love, you know, fight if someone comes to attack my family, I need to be able to protect them, things like that. So now my motivation is something even greater, and when I listen to these nasheeds or this Islamic music, that reminds me of the greater cause. I'm not doing it to be a sick kind of, like, if I'm listening to 50 Cent and this and that in the club and weird shit, bro, you know what I mean? But your father, like, if you can stop listening to music, like, Muslim or not, bro, straight it will level you up. Like, that's a big, I'm telling you right now, wallah.
You know, I've done this is nowhere near to your level, but like, whenever I go into my car, let's say for example, the Bluetooth is not working or whatever it may be,
you're copping on the chin and not listen.
But listen, bro, listen. I get what you're saying, like, with like just living in like the moment kind of, like, I really truly believe that everyone should live in the moment, no matter what it is. If you're having family with dinner, going on vacation, you live in the moment, not on social media, that type of stuff. But when I was in the car, it's not a big deal. It's of course a small moment, but just like that little ride, listen to no music. You know what I mean? Like, you're more like just in your senses, being more aware. And I kind of
you live for the moment. Exactly. And the thing is, like, okay, what's going to be an alternative? You probably, like, if you need to listen to something, put on a podcast and you educate yourself. Like, you're actually making that trip beneficial because now you're educating yourself. But you listen to the music, like you're not really gaining anything. And then like, I don't know, bro. And then now, like, it's become a point, like, this kid gets his P's and crank his music so we'll drive past shorties and get their attention. Like, that's how, like, low it gets. You know what I mean?
Hey, what's your views on cars and all that? You know, like, loud cars. Are you into that?
Yeah, like a loud car. Me, I'm an attention seeker.
Oh, okay,
I'm wearing red, bro. Come on.
Yeah, red.
Nah, but the thing is with cars, to get a car capable, it shows a form of, like, success. Like, you're it's like, it's a status thing, you know. Like, listen to music. If any flop can do that, whether you're on a shit car or a proper car. Do you know what I mean? But, like, obviously I'm gonna, like, if I look at a Lambo, I want to think, damn, like, that's proper. I respect that because this man had to achieve something to get there.
Exactly, 100%.
You know, so it's the car is just a byproduct of the success.
Yeah.
A man the goals are just a byproduct of a man's success. Money is just a byproduct of a man's all these things that men want in life. These are all just byproducts of our success. So naturally, anything that's a byproduct of our success, you have to respect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as long, in my opinion, that as long as it's done in a righteous way. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing that through fraud, selling, or you're just smashing bitches for the sake of it just looks weak.
Yeah.
But if you're able to provide for families, you're able to, you earned this car through your successful business that didn't rot in people, things like that. That's a man's goals, bro. You know, that's how a man should be achieving his wealth, everything. You know.
Wow, my brother. Yeah. Nah, for real, bro. I'm very glad that I called you up, invited you to this podcast, because I needed someone but I needed that kind of like a living proof that there are people in this world that's hustling out there, doing the right thing on the daily and trying to better themselves, bro. And brother, I actually honestly, I love this podcast here today, bro. Yeah. I don't know if you did, but you enjoyed it, brother.
I'm happy being here, bro. You're a very good host. I appreciate it.
Oh, brother, I appreciate it, bro. And I hope this creates a greater bond between us two, a greater friendship, and 100%, bro. I wish you nothing but the best in everything that you do in life.
Thanks, my bro.
Either in business, in your MMA, bro. I heard that you have a pro fight coming up.
Soon will be pro, but
soon to be pro, yeah.
But we will have something coming up. Nothing's disclosed yet, but when it does, I'll let you know.
100%, bro. And soon, hopefully, I get to be there, bro.
Yeah, to see you. It'll be good to have you there.
Yeah, bro, I have to, bro.
And for those that can't make it, it'll be on TV. They'll just purchase the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And every single one of you better watch.
Yeah.
I need my clout.
No, but before I do let you go, I do want to ask you. This is something I do on every single end of my episodes, and it's basically asking you, what's something that you would like to give to me, a message. Not something that I want to hear, something that relates to you the most, that you would like to share to me here today.
With you as an individual or with the people?
The people.
One piece of advice?
Yeah.
The one piece of advice I've lived by, which I feel like is the most important, is always choose the harder option in life. Wow. Literally, every time you have a decision to make, just choose the harder one. You know me, right? And the thing is, like you can ask any of my mates. Every single scenario, it would be as simple, we're in the 48, yeah? So we'll go up to the station platform, whatever, yeah?
Yeah.
You got the elevator, you got the escalator, and you got steps. I'm taking the steps. Every single time. If there's ever an option, even things as small as that. Because I look at it, this guy takes the escalator or whatever, yeah?
Yeah.
And I take, even if it's just 10 steps, and you got to walk up and down, so it's 20 steps in a day, times that by 365, I'm already that many steps ahead of you, bro. Do you know what I mean? Every little detail. It's when it comes to if anything that challenges you arises, it was a couple years back, and it was a friend had beef with some bloke, but he was scared of the bloke because beef because this dude's a massive Islander bloke is solid, this guy didn't want to fight him. So the guy turns around and if you want to if you don't want to fight me, choose one of your friends to fight me. And I seen it as a challenge. I'm taking it, and size wise, I was a big underdog, man. Big underdog, but don't worry, we had it sorted. But in terms on paper, you wouldn't put these two I'm the kind of person any time I see something's gonna put me in a state of adversity, present the challenge, I'm gonna take it, bro.
Alright, can I okay, so this is the last question I want to ask you. This is regarding to that, is that why do that? Why choose the harder option? And also, what keeps you keep on going? Well, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they stop. But what makes you different? What's something in your mind that just says, I gotta do it? It has to be done. Or do you see it in a different way?
As men, we don't have a choice. Because we're gonna be put in positions where we don't have a choice, but our kid needs to eat. My wife needs to be protected.
Yeah.
And And straight out, as much as we try to live in this lovey-dovey world, not everything's a competition. Everything's a competition, bro. Like we need to get ahead of the rest. You know what I mean? We need to be able to be the best providers we can be, the best protectors we can be. And how do you have that self-confidence doing it, knowing that you've done stuff that other people haven't? Do you know what I mean? I know that when I jump into the cage, this bloke hasn't done what I've done. Yes, he hasn't been through what I've been through. He hasn't, and these are all things like, cause like, this is it's an imperative. I have to get it done. And it's like every time you get something done, you've now like expanded your ability in like knowing what you can do. You've achieved a new limit. Do you know what I mean? It's like even I had a strength and conditioning coach, and he turned around to me and he said, do chin-ups to failure. I said, but I don't have a failing point, so I don't want to do chin-ups to failure, because if I do it and I stop, I've acknowledged the failing point. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it and then get to however many and be like, I can't go no more, because I never want to say I can't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I told him, listen, the most chin-ups I've done before today is probably about 21.
Shit, yeah.
So I'm going to hit 30. And then I hit 30. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll hit 31. I'll go for 35 next week. I'll go 40 the week after. You know what I mean?
Progressive, yeah.
And that's my idea of hitting that, because I don't want to be like, go to failure. And then, because every time you accept failure, you're subconsciously making that a part of you too, bro. Now, like, I know that I've stopped before. And the thing is, this doesn't mean I don't fail. Cause, wallah, ask the boys in my gym, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they've seen me cop L's, proper L's too. Yeah. Do you know? But the thing is, I'll make sure I come back and like, don't let it happen again. Things like that. Do you know what I mean? Wallah, like, and thankfully the gyms where you're supposed to have your L's, we keep the L's in there. Outside of the gym, we don't cop our L's. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But it's, like, for me, like, I just always have to, I have a winner's mindset, and I always want to be a winner, bro. And that's that. You feel me?
Wow.
Yeah, I won't acknowledge any form of failure. So if you told me anything, I'm always going to take the harder option, so I know that I'm further away from failure. Because when I get the harder thing done, I know failure's even further down.
Yeah. Wow. And also the fact, bro, what you said was so underrated that a lot of people let their thoughts go over, is that the fact that you saying failure, when you hit that failure point and you do that on a consistent basis, it's like your brain is allowing you that failure, it is an option. Yeah. And it's okay. But it's not good for you to keep on for you to keep on like thinking about. Yeah. That's so true. And it's even like, even just doing one pull up rather than two failure, that one pull up is better. For 100%. Wallah. And that's such a big message, bro.
Cause then like put a little brick every day, and then you got a health scars. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
If you do it to failure, you stop.
You got pause and you gotta start again. Like, yeah. And then you, like I don't know, bro. Just you just get what we're trying to say. Like, just don't accept failure. Just like failing's fine, but when you're accepting failure, it's a problem.
Yeah, because
like I fail. Cause you think I'm perfect. Like, damn, pretty damn close, but no. You know what I mean? But like we aim for perfection, achieve excellence. That's what my Muay Thai coach says. Wow. Aim for perfection, achieve excellence. Shout out to Coach O, my bang Muay Thai, this, that.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But just I don't want to accept it. If it happens, it happens. Now we build from it, and you don't cop the L, you cop the lesson. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Beautiful, bro. And brother, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Ali. Man.
Ali Bomaye.
I love my people, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Hey, but I'm plugging my stuff. Bomaye boxing.
Yes, you go.
So if you're a fighter, you're not a fighter, just get some gloves, because if you don't fight, you go to the gym, stay active. If you do fight, it's made by a fighter, so I know what a fighter wants. And honestly, like, I don't really even want to try and sell you the product. Just go get it, and you'll know why I'm bringing it up. And these are our Palestine colors. I haven't advertised it on the website or any marketing pages that are public, because I never want to influence my sales to the sense of anything else. Like, I don't want to push sales through charity or whatever, but for those that are watching this and to people in my circle, I do tell them that this is a $250 glove, but 50% from every purchase does go to Palestine. So instead of coming to myself, so like, even if there's that incentive of wanting to give charity, you know what I mean, like, and you need gloves, I'm not telling you get it because of the charity. I never want to use charity to sell a product, but you know, look into getting something that is going to support a better cause, you know. And
100%.
but yeah, you won't find that on my page, but I'm telling you, you know what I mean. But
love better. But yeah,
Free Palestine.
Nah, love better.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me, bro.
Love.